Yeah.
My flights changed, but they both changed for the better. So I'm like,
Oh, sweet.
yes.
Yeah, my flight changed too.
Just barely. I mean, it changed
Yeah.
like an hour because I had like a 6 o'clock flight going out in the morning, and it changed like 7:10. So I was like scored because I'm not in a hurry to get out there.
Yeah.
Instead of getting there at 8:30, I get there at 9:30. Big deal.
See, I was in a hurry to get out there. That's why I'm luckily like my flight just changed 24 hours earlier. Like I don't even know how that happened, but
like it changed a day?
No, because I changed it. I changed it.
Dude, that's a lot.
Because I changed it.
I was gonna say, man, I only changed like by less than an hour.
Yeah.
And
no, because like I was just thinking, like we don't go out there. No, I mean we go out there like once a year ish usually, and like we were coming back home from marathon like Monday early morning, and I was gonna be like eating up a PTO day, and I was like, you know what, I'd rather use that day at Disneyland, you know. So so now we're gonna fly out Sunday night after the marathon. I know that sounds awful, but I think I just rather have that extra time at Disneyland. You know, it's just we don't go out there as much. So
yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to have another day now.
My other flight though got changed early to come home from World after marathon. So
really?
It's that Monday. Instead of taking off like at 4:50, it changed like 3:50 in the afternoon on that Monday. So that's awesome because
I kind of like that too.
I do because I get in at like 5:30 now because the national championship.
The college football championship game.
Yeah, I get in enough time to watch the game, and I'm only home for that Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I fly out at like super early Thursday morning.
Yeah. Oh man.
I just gotta wash my clothes and do a couple days of work, and
I know. Those 2 days are gonna be crazy. That Monday, Tuesday, because we come back like super late. Like it'll be like 1 a.m. on Monday, probably when I'm getting to the door.
Oh my god!
And then like flip it around, go back to work. Emily's like coming back from 2 weeks off of school. Oh man!
I know because Mallory turns 16 on the 2nd, and like I fly out on the 3rd. So we'll do her 16th birthday, and then I leave the next day.
Yeah, and then you come back for 2 days, and then you're gone.
2 days and leave again.
Yeah,
but then luckily we don't have anything for a little while.
Yeah.
So. Yep, it will be. It's like all the races in like a 2-week span for me.
Yeah,
because I'm not doing.
And then we might come back for spring break just because like I haven't even used the annual pass hardly. You know, like I hate that. Like when like you renew the annual pass and like I've used it like 5 days.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't used it at all.
It's like, dang, I want to get value out of that. Like I would like to go somewhere else maybe for spring break, but like I already have the annual pass. We hardly used it, so that might be the move.
That's a good point.
But the resort rates, man, are crazy. Oh my gosh. And the airfare. It costs more to go to Florida than it does to Hawaii.
That's crazy. Insane. I got lucky. I mean, because of the races, since it's just me, like it's not so, and I use my frequent flyer miles for both ways round trip. Dude, I'm paying $80 for my flights both ways round trip. And that's just because I bought early bird.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, then taxes. I think taxes were $36.
Yeah. And then you got, I saw that you might be going with the other hotel now, the other resort.
I did. I just canceled Disneyland.
Yeah. Dude, painful, right? But think about the cost savings that is.
Well, because my hotel is dead on at the start line. Yeah. Like, so I'm going with that. And dude, it's a difference. It's $1,500 over $4,000, and it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had the girls with me, I'd do Disneyland hotel. Yeah. But dude, that's like I could buy a MacBook for that. You know what I'm saying? Like a pro. You know, that's how they see things. So
yeah.
No, we talked to the audience. We're getting ready to talk to the audience. This is the pre-show. Michelle, we're getting ready to start. We just got to catch up. Okay, so we are getting ready to take your call. So thanks for reminding us of that, Michelle, and hope everybody's having a great. Hey, it's Thanksgiving week now. That's pretty awesome. Yes, we're scoping out our marathon weekend / Disneyland half marathon plan. So if you have because it's getting real now, man. It's Thanksgiving. Like it's dark. It's getting cold. That means it's buckle down time for race season for running a lot of miles. Thomas, hello. We got to get you on the show. I was just thinking about that the other day. So we're going to schedule a show where all 5 of us are going to be together. Hopefully, if we can ever get everybody in the same place at the same time. That's the plan. I think Pam's going to be back this week. She was down doing training with the team this week. I think she's back. I don't know. We'll find out in the morning when I send out the text. I never even know. All right. So do we have any big news this week? Let me check.
I don't think there's much news. It was a wet week in Florida.
Oh my gosh, it was. I know. I felt bad for people that were down there. It just kept raining and raining.
I know. Could you imagine like if you just booked your trip like that Saturday or that Sunday or whatever when all the rain started?
That would be bad. All right, we'll leave the news.
Crowds are starting to get busy now too.
Yeah, they are.
Do our friend Bob like? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
I swear,
like, does he live in Walt Disney World? I know people jokingly say that about me, but like, if you follow Bob, man, my man is there every weekend. I swear, and he's from like Massachusetts or something.
I know, and he's done every character meal, like with his granddaughter. Like, his granddaughter's cute as a button.
I know,
it's unbelievable. Okay,
so because it's not like they're staying like with their son or something. Like he's staying there like DVC.
Oh yeah, dude, he's living it. He's living the best life.
I know that guy, man. That's awesome,
dude. I know. I'm like, same thing. I'm like, he's still there. Like that's exactly what I say every morning. Like, because he always
every morning I wake up. That's the first social media thing I see is him at Disney
Sunday or whatever. Yeah, because always says like happy Sunday, or like he'll be like at Bay Lake Towers or something. I know. I'm like, dude, you're still there. What? I'm still in my basement.
Yeah,
I know. It's so funny, and he listens every show because like if we have like a comment on something, dude, he's always the first one on social. Like an answer.
I don't think he sleeps either. So because like he. That's what I'm saying. Like he's the first thing I see every morning because he'll comment at like 4:30 in the morning or something.
Hey, it's always there. We appreciate it. Bob's been there since we started the show. I mean, back in 2008. It's awesome. Okay, here we go.
I think he has like one of the OG like message board names.
Yeah, Monorail Bob. This is on the V bulletin boards. Yeah, we have. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay, today's the 19th. Here we go. Now get the month right this time, hopefully. Okay. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line for Sunday night, November 19th, 2023. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and, of course, one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Let me welcome you to Thanksgiving week 2023 here on, the Be Our Guest Podcast. Got too many buttons to push here in the studios, but I think we're set. We're going to have a good time. Hey, guess what? We're taking your calls live here in the studios at 407-413-9395. That's 407-413-9395. We're going to open up the phone lines here in about 5 to 7 minutes once we get through the introductions. And let me introduce my buddy who I'll be spending a lot of time with here in less than 60 days as we do the Walt Disney World thing, where we run a lot of miles down in Florida. Then we go home and do the quick wash of the running stuff, and then hop on another plane and head out to the West Coast and do a little bit more running, but have a lot more fun out there. It's my buddy and yours, hashtag Scotty G. Hey, Scott, how about those Lions? What's up?
Hey, the Lions pulling through a big victory. Love that today. So happy Sunday to everyone. I went to Frankenmuth this weekend, Mike, which is always makes me think of Walt Disney World, like the World Showcase Germany Pavilion, just times 100, basically. So the weather was nice. It was a little chilly, but the sun was shining. Had the awesome like Zender's chicken dinner. That reminds me of Liberty Tree a lot. And it was funny. I mean, this place was packed, Mike. I mean, I never seen so many people like huddled in this lobby, and we had a 5:30 reservation, but a lot of people were trying to just like walk in. And there's like all these different dining rooms, kind of like Liberty Tree, right? Like here's the John Adams room or whatever. You know, like how they have those different rooms in Liberty Tree. Well, they do that at Zender's as well. And the lady's calling my name. It's so loud. I think she said my name. Was it a C? Was it a G? I don't know. So I go over there and like, I should have said hashtag. Yeah. I was like, did you say Scott G? She's like, yeah, for 3. I'm like, yep, that's us. She's like, follow me. And she's like, I'm going to bring a group of you. I'm like, what? Why is she bringing a group of us? Is it going to be like communal dining tonight? Like I've never seen them do that. And then she had us like go down these stairs and make a left and to a right. I was in a dining hall I'd never even seen at this place, and I've been going here my whole life. Like it's just they just magically have these dining rooms I just didn't even know existed. I mean, that's how busy it was, but it was a phenomenal meal. Just a cool place to hang out. Whenever I get you to Michigan, Mike, I gotta take you to Frankenmuth, and you'll go to Bronner's too, which is like the world's largest Christmas store, which you'll really get a kick out of too. So it was a fun Saturday, and I'm happy to be here Sunday to talk some Disney with you.
Yeah, I'd definitely much rather go to Frankenmuth and Bronner's than Michigan State game at this point because it looks a little rough around the edge, even though you got to win this week. I mean, you beat the Hoosiers. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure Andy was psyched about that, right? Your brother-in-law.
Yeah, I think he's not worried about that right now. I mean, we're living the good life. He's a Mizzou alum as well. And 9-2, baby. Chomp, chomp. Just saying. So it was a good one. I mean, lost 2 years off my life at the zoo last night, but hey, we're here, and now we got to take care of the hogs. So we are going to have a good time. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, here in the States later this week, because we are not going to have a live call-in show next Sunday, just so you know. I know everybody will be traveling. It'll be kind of a mess. People are in transit. Plus, I mean, just to be honest, Paige's basketball team is traveling to St. Louis next weekend, and they are playing on Sunday afternoon. They're playing the St. Louis University Billikens. If you want to look up a funny mascot, look up the St. Louis University Billikens. I don't even know what it is. I've lived in St. Louis for almost 50 years. It looks like a little devil kind of thing. It's a Catholic university, and it's kind of like a cross between like a devil and the Pillsbury Doughboy. It's a wild looking thing. It's got this whole like mythological background to it. But anyway, the UIC women's basketball team from Chicago is traveling down, non-conference game against the Billikens. My birthday is the next day, so I just texted her. I said, "Look, because they just won today, they beat Ooey Pooey." Which, if you know who you're like, who did they play a real team named Ooey Pooey? Yeah, they did. They beat a team named Ooey Pooey. It's Indiana University. That's IUPI. I can't remember what the other letters are for, but it's an extension of Indiana University. But they got a victory today. I think they're 4-1 at this point. But this is going to be a tough challenge against SLU, because they already beat Mizzou women, which are a really good SEC team. So, but I said my birthday, I need a W next Sunday. So we'll be in attendance. We'll be down there at Chaffetz Arena. So no live show, but everybody will be traveling. We'll get back together the next Sunday. So just have a second helping of the cranberries and the turkey. So what are you looking forward to for Thanksgiving? And then we'll get to the calls and talk a little Disney. We're going to talk unwritten rules of Walt Disney World and all the other Disney vacations today.
Yeah. So this is a stay home year for me. As you know, as my travel agent, I travel a lot over Thanksgiving. It's a good time too, because Emily has a few days off of school. We get a few days off of work. So expensive time to travel, but we like to do it nonetheless. But no, we're staying home this year. So that'll be kind of nice and more relaxing. So we'll go to my in-laws. My father-in-law makes just an awesome Thanksgiving dinner. It's my wife's favorite holiday. She was born on Thanksgiving, so she loves just all the Thanksgiving stuff. So, and with my mom passing away a few years ago, my dad and brother are going to come over too. So it'll be nice to have just had to go to one place, because it used to be like we had to go to like all these different places over the holidays. So it's kind of nice to just have to go to one place. So it'll be nice and relaxing. And of course, not to throw it on sports, but I'll definitely be watching my Detroit Lions, some Packer booty on Thanksgiving as well.
That's right. And it's good to be, this game is not just where you can just turn it on as background, because that's what I always did. I turn on, you turn the, because here in the Midwest is what we did, because we watch the NFL on, you watch football. So I'd always turn on the Lions game, right? And that's kind of is because we have our Thanksgiving dinner is like lunch. We call it dinner. We usually eat it around 12:30, 1 o'clock Central. Like that's when everybody comes over. We serve, and you have Detroit on, and then by the time the Cowboys come on, at like 3:30 here in the Central Time Zone, you're getting your second helpings, right? And then later on in the evening, we have the Egg Bowl, which is Mississippi State and in Ole Miss in SEC football. Dude, then you're just like you're making the first round of the holiday sandwiches with the leftovers. So that's kind of how that rolls around this house.
I would be well into bed by that point. I feel like, but
it's the greatest time of the year this week. So anyway,
last year, man, I was at Chef Mickey's at that point when the Egg Bowl started, and that was a different type of Thanksgiving meal. One I never thought I would do. Right, I never thought I would go to Chef Mickey's of all places on Thanksgiving, and it was fun. Then we went back up to our room. We brought the desserts because the meal was running kind of long. And it came with this is before they had returned the buffet too. So they're kind of doing a family style at Chef Mickey's then. And the meal was running low because we wanted to go watch Enchantment. I almost said Wishes. It was Enchantment at the time. And we're just asking the server, hey, can you speed this up? And they're like, what about the desserts? Well, can you put them in a to-go box? So we took them upstairs. We made it just in time because we had the theme park view room at the Contemporary.
Right. I forgot you were living the life at the Contemporary.
So Beth was with us, so we all went out to the balcony. I blasted the Enchantment music from the TV, and we had our own little dessert party on the balcony watching Enchantment. That was actually a really cool way to wrap up Thanksgiving dinner. So not going to quite be the same this year, but it'll still be good. It'll be a little more relaxing, I'll say.
That is not bad. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to open the phone lines in just a second, 407-413-9395. We got from William, Beaver fan. Oregon State put up a valiant effort yesterday against the Washington Huskies, the 5th-ranked team, undefeated out in the Pac-12 or 2 or whatever you want to call it right now. Ooey Pooey, Indiana University. The second half is Purdue University at Indianapolis. So I knew it was with something with Purdue. It was like a conglomeration. So thank you for that, because that would have been driving me nuts when I was laying in bed. I had to Google that. And Deanna has a question here. She says, I'm heading into Disneyland in 9 days. Give me your favorite counter service restaurant for both Disneyland Park, DCA. All right, I'm going to really quickly jump in. Disneyland Park, Hungry Bear. It's not my favorite, but it's a hidden gem, because my favorite would be Blue Bayou. That's not counter service. Yeah, it is. No, that's table service.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's table service. Hungry Bear, because nobody's going to say that. At DCA or at Disneyland. Over at DCA, man, I don't know. What would you say for DCA?
So for DCA, for counter service, I'm going to say not the most popular, but I just love the atmosphere, and I love the background loop. I love all the 50s music, and that's Flo's V8 Cafe.
That's a good
I
point.
love that spot, and if you can get a seat outside, like kind of like at sunset, you can see like how gorgeous the the mountain is, the Radiator Springs, and just the people watching and that music. So that I had to go with Flo's V8. Not my favorite quality of food, I will say, but like for the atmosphere and overallness, like that's my number one.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nichelle says Bengal barbecue. That's a solid choice in Adventureland out at Disneyland Park. They have like a combo platter. I think again, the atmosphere makes the food taste better, both at Bengal barbecue and like at Flo's V8 Cafe.
I'm excited to see the new Tiana's place, how they turned the what was it? I can't even think of them.
Yeah, they're in Norland Square.
Yes, because I like to get those like soup bowls that they used to have there. All the food at Disneyland is really good. I love the Mexican counter service place too.
Go play, yeah.
Just it's all good, and the snacks, like just go grab a corn dog. Even like that's a great meal to have. Just like, oh man, everything about it is just so good.
All right, so we're going to talk unwritten rules of Walt Disney World. So, sorry, I just Eric was just trying to call in. So give us a call back, 407-413-9395. The screen went blank there, and so I didn't see it. Okay, Eric's calling in here, so it'd be good to talk to Eric here on Thanksgiving week. Eric, hey, thanks for calling in. What's going on?
Hi, how are you? Long time.
I know, long time. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you this week. What's up?
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I'm calling because I need help.
Oh, me too.
I need specific help that you can help me with.
We'll try.
Not like the fact that I'm insane. So the person who I have often on the podcast referred to as my best Disney friend forever and we are now a couple. We have started to date, and we are going on a 3-night Disney cruise in February. I have never been on a Disney cruise. She is an expert in them. She's such an expert that she has stayed with friends in the crew cabin on like a 7-night trip. So she knows it backwards and forwards. We travel. Departure date is February 14th. That is Valentine's Day.
I was gonna say that's okay.
Is this romantic to go on a 3-night cruise?
It's romantic. Yes.
This is she is a complete expert, but I need a Valentine's departure day idea for someone who knows Disney Cruise inside and out and who is not impressed with food type of things.
Oh my God.
So help me. I need to find something really good for this.
Oh, I'm glad a lot of people are listening, because I know cruise, but I don't know romance too well. I'm more practical.
I think spa. Yeah, I'm thinking spa here.
I really needed the other.
I know. It's like we have other people in the show, only they don't come out on Sunday nights.
I'm thinking the spa, though, Eric. I think maybe like booking like a spa experience would be really good.
I think Scott's onto something here.
Okay.
So
a departure day spa experience. I'm actually writing this down right now.
Yeah, so I think that would be really good. I mean, so departure day can be kind of hectic too, because it's not like a full day on the ship, right? I mean, you can get a big bulk of a full day, depending on when your onboarding time is. And then they do a lot of open houses too throughout the ship. So the spa will be open for people to like view it and like a lot of things. But if dining is not the thing that you want to go for, I think there's nothing romantic like a spa treatment, like a couples massage. I see our friend Brandon saying the same thing about a couples massage. I think that's kind of where my mind was thinking, or something on that line. It's just like a cool, like intimate thing that you can do on the ship, and the views from the spa are just like amazing. So I think that'd be a really good idea.
Okay, sounds good. Any other thoughts?
You know, I did that on our honeymoon because we did a cruise for our honeymoon. And here's the only bad thing. We did a couples massage, and we had like these, I like, you know, they always try to sell you on these upgrades. And so they had these like hot stones, and they had this like they wrapped you in this super hot blanket. And it was just, you still there, Eric? You're there. Oh, I don't know if Eric's there or not. But anyway, he's probably listening. So they wrapped you in this hot blanket, and I fell asleep like in 10 minutes. So I didn't even really get to enjoy it. It was like the best nap I ever had that cost a fortune. So you just got to kind of make sure you don't. Oh, he's back. He dropped. Eric, you back?
Yes, I am back. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem.
We're talking about hot stones.
Yeah, so they're gonna always at the spa. Here's the one thing about any cruise line, because they're independent of the cruise. They're like a third party. They're gonna try to upsell you, like on their products and like different kinds of services. So when we did this on our honeymoon, they upsold me to a hot stone like couples massage where they put these hot stones on you. It felt awesome. They wrapped you like in a cocoon of these hot blankets. Dude, I was asleep in like 10 minutes. So I didn't even really get to enjoy it. Like I was out. Like that was the only like warning. Like I had the best nap I ever took, but it was the most expensive nap I ever took too. So I'm just saying.
I gotta say, the flight out of our hotel gets in at about midnight on the day before the cruise. So we'll definitely be falling asleep during the hot stone massage.
Just be careful. I'm telling you, schedule it. Be careful, man, because I mean I could fall asleep anywhere. And I mean I was just like, and you know, sir, please give us, $250. I was like, oh man, that was an expensive nap.
Are there any good like romantic spots to just hang out on the ship?
Okay. Are you on the Wish? It sounds like if it's a 3-nighter.
Which ship?
Oh, good question. I am not sure.
Oh no,
I don't know anything about cruising. She's done all the planning for this, and I just want to surprise her with something nice.
Well, are you flying to Orlando area? Like, is it Port Canaveral is where you're sailing out of?
We are sailing out of Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
On February. Could be the Dream.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be the Dream,
Yeah,
which
it's the Dream. It's the Dream.
Yep.
You're right.
We know that ship a little. I mean, the Wish is our most recent one, so it's really fresh in our mind. But me and Mike have been on the Dream several times, so we tend to know that one a little bit better. I'd say like there are some really nice places to go, like up on deck. Like I like being on the adult like 12th deck. You can kind of get like in the back of the ship. There's some really nice spots where you're just looking at the ocean, like at sunset. That was my another suggestion. If you could if you know her well enough, you can maybe buy like a piece of jewelry at one of the shops when the shops open, and then they give her that up on deck at sunset. I think that'd be really, really romantic.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah, and there's adults areas too, like, and they have these because the adults areas, especially like later in the day, like during the the pool, the adult pool gets busy like during the say from like noon to 3 or like 10 to 3 during the peak swimming hours. But once it gets closer to dinner and the rest of the evening, there's these awesome padded lounge chairs, and this is in the top of the ship in the front. It's adults only. And there's times where you will be the only people up there, and they play soft jazz music and you can steal away and it is just chill. I mean, it is awesome up there. It's just gorgeous because all you're seeing is the ocean. And I mean, it's a great place to just kind of sit and talk and enjoy each other. That'd be a good spot too, just to kind of.
It's like a Love Boat scene right there.
It is. I mean, except no cabin steering.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sunset. Beautiful. Thank
you. So the sunset's going to be pretty
early,
early, I'm imagining, in February too. So it might depend on when your dining rotation is. If you're in second dining, I think you can make that work. But if you're in first dining, that might be a little tricky because that's probably when the sun will be setting.
Okay. That's fine. Either way, it'll be nice. I appreciate this. Maybe you can, I know Wednesday you have the questions.
Oh yeah.
The Q&A where people are waiting for questions. Maybe you can push this on to the ladies and see if they have any ideas too.
I will. Because we record that tomorrow. So I'll try to remember that, drop it into them tomorrow. And 2 and 2.
Thanks. I'll do my best to drop in the chat.
All right. I appreciate it, Eric. You have a good one.
I can't wait to hear about this. I'm excited.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. No, I'm slated to call in and give a trip report, so you'll know all about whether or not this worked.
Oh my God. Yeah. That will be the luck.
And I can blame you. I can blame you if it fails too.
No. Dude, I've already given
So
you.
Eric, I am gonna just throw this out there. You mentioned like dinner wasn't a thing, but I'm telling you, man, Paulo is like a romantic, beautiful restaurant. So
It's true.
I'm not. There's probably a reason why you didn't say that, but I'm just gonna throw that out there too. Just put in your back of mind, man. Like book a Paulo reservation would be really nice. But
Agreed.
All right.
Agreed.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you, Eric.
all right, have a great one.
All right,
Take care.
see you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we got 3 on the line here. Let's go to line 2.
I like that question though, man. We were like, I liked our ideas.
Bullets. When people start asking me for romantic advice,
Jewelry, give the gift at sea, and then like or do a couples massage. Like I think we're on to something.
Dude, you're calling and asking me for romance. It's like calling. I don't know. I can't even make the analogy right now. That just makes me super nervous. That's like.
I loved it. I think Eric's gonna have an awesome cruise.
Call Scott. All right, we have 4 calls on the board right now. We have our next call. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Scotty G. This is Troy Ferguson from Spring Hill, Florida.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
I just like to call you Speedy.
Right? I think you got in like 16 miles this weekend. I think I saw something crazy like that. Awesome job.
I did, yes. I had a 16-miler on Friday and a 10-miler on Saturday. I had to get my miles in. We were going to Jollywood Nights. So I wanted to get all my calories burnt so I could enjoy myself over at the studios.
That's how you think, just like me. I think input, output. That's what I do too.
Absolutely. So, I wanted to call in because I just figured I'd share a couple of thoughts. Christine and I went over for Jollywood Nights, and we had a fantastic experience. There's been a lot of mixed reviews, some pretty fair reviews, but I thought I'd share a couple of thoughts if you guys are interested.
Yes, sir. I'd love to hear them.
So we're APs, so we kind of got in a little earlier than the party starting, and so there was like 0 wait to get our credentials. We literally walked in. They had 2 places to get your credentials. And we never really saw a line. We grabbed our credentials around probably 5:30, 6 o'clock. We had some dinner over at 50's prime time. And so we were set once the party started. We grabbed Fantasia there right when the park was closing. And then we literally walked out of Fantasia and walked right into line for that first Muppets show at 8:30. And we got right in without any issues at all. And that show was phenomenal. I'm telling you right now, it was probably one of the best Christmas shows I've ever seen. We really had a good time, and from there we went to the Tip Top bar, our Tip Top Club rather, and we waited probably 15 minutes for drinks and some snacks over there, so it wasn't too terrible. And let me tell you, you could walk on just about any route. We walked on to Tower of Terror, walked on to the what else? The Mickey and Minnie's Railway. It took us longer to walk through the queue at Smuggler's Run than it was to ride the rides. So we were hitting up a lot of the rides. The Rock and Roller Coaster was about a 6-minute wait, and there was nobody riding rides. Everybody was jammed up in that middle area, right down the Hollywood Boulevard, getting snacks and stuff. So we were just like cruising around and just walk off and on rides. It's pretty awesome, I got to tell you.
So what do you think is the difference, though? Do you think, because I know that I saw a lot on social media that Disney was surveying guests a lot post first party. I mean, I'm assuming in an attempt to make a quick course correction for the rest of the season for Jollywood Nights, which makes me happy because obviously if you have negatives, you want to spin them into a positive for your guests as quickly as possible. What do you think made the experience more efficient? It sounds like it was more efficient. Like, I could say one thing from what I'm hearing from you, because it sounds like you were getting around and getting things accomplished where it was like bottlenecks a lot that first night. What do you think it was, fewer people at your party, better weather, just more staff? And of course you probably don't know, but what's your feelings? Cause you're there a lot. You have a good idea.
I feel like they were very well organized at moving people. Disney is a logistics company. They excel, or at least they should excel at moving lots of people through spaces, right? So we actually the queue was very efficient to get to the Tip Top Club, and they had 3 bartenders serving, and those guys were working like 100 miles an hour. We actually waited in line, got a couple of photos. We didn't do the characters. Because the character lines were probably about a half hour each. That was the one thing that we decided not to venture into, just because we wanted to see more of the decorations and get a couple of rides in. But I don't think we waited more than 10 to 15 minutes for any food or drinks, and you can just about walk onto any ride. The way they had the queuing set up there at the outdoor area just outside of Tower of Terror was pretty efficient. They had a split, and they brought you through the tunnel. It's like when you're running during half of the marathon and the half, and you go out that back door past Tower of Terror gift store, and have to take out the back. There was a kid that wrapped around that area and brought you out to like a little bar area where they had, like I said, 3 or 4 bartenders set up. But it was pretty efficient. And Jingle Bell Jingle Band was phenomenal. I thought I was going to run out of gas before 12:30 because I'd been up early that morning. But we managed to stick to it, and I'm glad we did. It snowed on us during the event, and it snowed down Hollywood Boulevard as we were leaving, so it was definitely a great event. I didn't really have any big negatives other than we didn't get to do the character stops, but we could have prioritized that and not did some rides. But I guess it's kind of what you like. It worked for us, so I would definitely recommend it, and we'll probably do it again. It was a great time.
Well, I'm glad to hear, because I saw your pictures. You guys looked happy. I think I saw them on Facebook, and looked like you guys were having a good time. And that, it's what it's all about, right? You buy your ticket and do what makes you happy. Some people are all about the characters, and if that's your jam, get every character photo you want. But I mean, sounds like you did a good mix. You got, some snacks, you got some drinks, you did some rides, you saw some shows. I mean, you kind of got your mix, and bottom line is you walked out happy. You're talking about it. That's a win for me.
Absolutely. We actually had to see both shows. We saw the 8:30 for the Muppets, and then we saw the 11:30 for the Nightmare Before Christmas, which was just weird. I'm not a big Nightmare Before Christmas fan.
Same.
But it was just weird, man. It was good. It was just weird, but we had a good time though.
I feel the same way. I've tried to watch that movie. That's it. That's the word. It's weird. I know some people love it, but I don't know. It's that style of animation even just kind of freaks me out. It's different. Yeah. Do you like it, Scott?
You got some calls probably banging in, but I just want to kind of call in and say hello and give you a quick little, at least our opinion on what we thought about Jollywood Nights. So.
We appreciate it. It helps because we still got some parties coming up, and I mean, I think you're putting a lot of folks' minds at ease that have dropped the money on the tickets and are heading down here soon. So I think that's a good big help for folks. All right. Well, hey, we'll see you in January. We'll be here before you know it.
Sounds good, man. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. Scotty G, we'll talk to you guys later.
Sounds good, Troy. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, and you stay safe.
Talk
to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.
That was a good trip report. I mean, it was good. Like, sounds like the wait times for the attractions are low, which makes sense because you want to do like some of the specialty things. But like, I like the way you worded, Mike. Whatever you want to make of it, like, just make it that. Like, I liked it.
Exactly. I mean, if you walk out of it happy, that's all that matters. You don't got to please everybody else and do what everybody else wants. All right, we have a next caller. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Scott. Paul from New Jersey.
Hey, what's up, Paul? Good talking to you. It's been a bit.
Yeah, it's been a little while. How you guys? Did I hear? Is Chuck Woolery in the studio tonight as well?
2 and 2. That's right.
2 and 2. I couldn't. Instead of ending the call, I'll start with the call. To my friends, the best podcasters in the world. Happy Thanksgiving. We're in the middle of the season now. Christmas season's great, and I want to wish you guys a happy, healthy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. Thankful we're all friends. I mean, that's what this podcast is about: friendship and family. Love it.
Yep. To everyone out there, happy Thanksgiving. I also wanted to check in. When are we doing the Impressions de France show? Because I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, the Mystery Science Theater 3000
viewing. I've already started some of my extensive research on it. I'm just saying. I mean, I know a lot already, but yes. I was thinking. I actually thought about that the other day when I was picking up the dog from the vet because I played it because I listened to that soundtrack almost every day, and it got me thinking like, oh yeah, we got to really break this one down someday for an episode. But yeah, go ahead, Paul. What's on your mind?
It's awesome. I once you guys brought it up again, I found myself watching it over and over again on YouTube, and I think my favorite is the Mont, I'm going to butcher it, Mont Saint Michel, the castle like that's on the beach there. It looks like it's like the monastery, or it looks like a fortress almost out on the beach. That's like my favorite calming scene. But I love the whole thing. I could sit there through the whole thing. thanks for the Friday show. It was great. The Unwritten Rules. I put a couple on Twitter. A couple more I was thinking of. One thing is when and I think most of us who are considerate do this, but when you see an ECV or a wheelchair, you don't sprint to get ahead of it. You just kind of leave room for people who are having a hard time getting through. You can wait a few extra seconds. And a funny one I have is, I guess, my own family. My son's we've been going for years, decades. So my son, who's almost 30 now, when he was real little, we had one that when you're walking through the hotel, the saddles on the carpet and the floor, like cracks in the sidewalk. You don't step on those. That's just, even if you got to jump over them, you got to break your stride somehow. You don't step on those. That's just a fun one we always had too. But I'm looking forward to hearing more from people out there. I really liked that show. It was very good.
Yeah, we're gonna. So we had it. So behind the scenes, we made a Google Doc, like a shared Google Doc that we started and put a bunch on. I think about like 12.
Sure.
We only got like 3 or 4 of ours. So we are going to do a second show of that because we kind of got derailed with. Because I really am the one that I threw on there was the one about the monorail, the moderate resorts and the bus queues. Because that one bothers me more than anything in the world. Like that is a huge stressor to me. Because
and I think Scott said too with the switchbacks, right? That's the only alternative.
Because right. I mean, like at Pop Century, it doesn't look as nice because you have the guardrails, to get out to the bus, but it's efficient and it leaves no doubt to who's next to get on the bus, right? There's no gray area. And it looks nicer at Coronado Springs, right? You just have kind of a Coke machine and a few benches, but you have people peeking around the corner as that bus pulls up and like you've been sitting on the bench for 15 minutes and they right there and get on.
The next solution, Mike, is just virtual boarding groups for the buses.
Don't even say that. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I mean, it should be a relaxed system, and I get it. It's very relaxed, and it's it's almost a time gone by because, and I started saying this probably 5 years ago. A Walt Disney World vacation is a competition on many different micro levels, right? It really tends to lend itself to certain kind of people, right? And it's people that like to plan. It's people that are kind of a little competitive, right? Because you are competing. You're competing for the best dining reservations. You're competing for the best. You want your room to be in the best location at a certain resort. You want to have the best view. You want to be there and have the most efficient touring plan. There are these. If you look at it or not, you believe it or not, but it's like a micro competition on many, many little levels all throughout the day. And that's just one of those things. I don't know if I want to see those silver switchback things at every little stand, but I do get stressed because I'm not trying to like beat anybody, but if I'm there first, I do want to be on that bus if there's only going to be 7 seats when it comes around when there's 4 stops.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about the turnstile. Is that you start counting heads, right? As you're like waiting for like the Magic Kingdom bus, you're like, okay, there's probably like 30 seats and like 25 people can stand or whatever. So you start like counting heads, like we might make this one.
That's how I do have the great estimator.
Yeah. But yeah.
But
Paul, can you share the one that you sent us on social media? Because like I responded to you, and I don't think this is an unwritten rule that a lot of people would do, but like this is how I roll, and it sounds like you're the same way, and I'd love for you to share it with the listeners.
Oh, sure, Scott. You're a good host. That's why you feel that way. If you see trash on the ground, I mean, I'm not talking about, a biohazard. I'm just talking about trash. You see trash on the ground, a can, a cup, it's rare. The cast members are great at keeping on top of it. But if you see something, don't take a picture of it and point it out and say, put it on social media. Oh, look, Disney's falling apart because just pick it up, throw it in the trash, clean up, and go on your way. It makes the park a little bit better for everybody else. I feel that's a good unwritten rule.
It's my park. I always consider these are like my parks. Maybe it's because of the DVC owner in me or whatnot, but like these are my parks. I want them to look clean and great for all guests. The worst is the monorail. Every time I get on the monorail these days, it's really sad to me. It just feels like it's so trashed. And every time I leave the monorail, if there's any trash in my car, I pick it up and I throw it away because I don't want the next guest to have to see that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Like, again, we kind of came to the conclusion, and it's always what it is. It's respect. It's respect. Yeah. Who leaves trash behind? Like, it's just you shouldn't even do that at your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, for your, if you're a kid, for your parents to pick up, like for your spouse, for your, your friend, whoever it is, like if it's your trash, it's your responsibility to throw it away. It just, God, this stuff drives me crazy.
Thomas has a great one too in the chat. I love that
it's
one.
so simple too. It's so simple. Yeah. So Paul, right here, Thomas, our good friend here. I mean, unwritten rule: don't talk on attractions. And I mean, you may have seen that attraction 73 times, right?
Sure.
So it's not that big a deal to you. But guess what? The person behind you who paid $128 to get into that park today, this could be their very first time, or it doesn't even matter. It could be their 138th time seeing that attraction, but they love it and they deserve to be able to enjoy it. I agree.
Yep, Thomas is on something too. And like you said, it comes back to respect, Mike. It's, it all boils down to that.
Mm.
You got me thinking though about the. I remember one thing too. You said, Scott, was if you don't want to see the switchbacks, so you kind of stand where you expect the bus might be, but then you kind of feel like you're first because you just missed that bus, so you're entitled to a little bench too. And now I'm thinking, do we have to resort to the little tickets like you get in the supermarket for your cold cuts? I mean, is that what we have to do so you can sit on the bench, hold up your number one or your number two? I mean, it's crazy that that is the trickiest one. That is really funny. The resort bus stops. How do you handle that?
Just watch out if Beetlejuice shows up and tries to steal your number.
I've not seen that movie, but I'll take it. But I'll be honest though, I do I will forego sitting on that bench to stand like up by the yellow line just to make sure, like if I miss a bus because it was full, just so I can get on the next bus. I give up comfort, in the shade and on a bench because and I'm not trying to be aggressive, but because I'm entitled to that and I don't want to be snaked again, because I've been snaked.
And what if the person in front of you has like 10 family members sitting off to the side and then they're like, all right, come on, that you didn't even account for it.
I know it just stresses me out, that whole bus situation.
Rent car rent. There we go. Just rent the car.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But I like the buses.
I know I like the buses too. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just not the moderates though, Mike. I know you say deluxe too. Like you see this at the deluxe resorts too, because you don't want the turnstile. It just is like not. It's like a negative thing to me almost. It ruins like the whole theme.
Yeah, it takes away from theming. Yeah, you're right.
But it's the best way to keep it fair.
It is. It's like a.
And you always say, Mike. You always say the value buses are the best buses, and maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
And it looks so bad, but it's like, oh my gosh, but it works. Yeah, it's. I don't know what I want. Anyway, yeah. So yeah,
what did you? I know you talked about it a couple shows ago. And I don't know if anybody addressed it or if you said, how did you end up handling your tickets when you have the annual pass, but you're in the blackout date for the end of the year? Did you decide what to do?
You just told me.
Yeah, I just messaged Mike. Oh, I'm like 95% sure we're gonna buy a 2-day ticket. We've looked at like some beach resorts to maybe like after New Year's Eve go to a beach for a couple days and then come back to Walt Disney World. Just hotel prices are just like, I mean, we got a good deal at French Quarter, so I kind of don't want to give that up for the whole time, So and we love staying in the bubble. So I think we're leaning toward buying a 2-day ticket or just no ticket at all and just like hanging out at the resorts because we go enough. So that's kind of nice for us. But there's new things that are coming. Like there's the new Epcot show that's coming. I know we're gonna be going to Disneyland the next week, but you don't have Animal Kingdom there, so we got to hit up Animal Kingdom. It's our favorite park. So there's things we actually really want to do this trip. So we might just have to cave in and buy a 2-day ticket, as much as I hate it.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I missed the solution earlier, but I had that down to something I wanted to ask you, and it's like you're customizing your annual pass around that blackout date. If you buy a 2-day ticket and it's less than the other up level annual pass, you're getting the annual pass you want. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I like the way you're thinking about it. That's kind of actually how I and Paul were very similar minded. That's how I explained it to my wife one day, because really her and I keep going back and forth. I'm like, well, it's like we're kind of like just adding on to our annual pass, but still saving a little money from getting the Incredipass pass. So,
that's one way to look at it. Awesome. I love it. We are so bad justifying things.
Guys, I want to thank you. I want to wish you the best. Thanks for everything. You have a great week. A happy Thanksgiving again. I'll let the other callers get a chance. You guys are the best. Take care.
You too, buddy. We're glad.
Paul. Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. Take care, buddy. See ya. Go Flames. All right. See you later. He follows the Flames too. I'll appreciate. He's always cheering on Paige's team, which I love. All right, we have our next caller. Hey, who's joining us? Lots of callers tonight.
Hey, Mike. What's up? It's Ella.
Hey, Ella, what's going on down in Arkansas?
Right now I'm actually finishing a test, but it's fine.
Remember,
So,
C. The answer is C.
it's not a multiple choice.
Ah, dang, whatever. Okay. Then I can't help you.
So last night at Jollywood, they introduced some more characters, and one of them was Duffy in his cute Santa outfit. So, how excited are y'all about Duffy finally being back in the U.S. parks? Because I know that Scott got to go see Olu at Alani recently. So
yes, I had the little name written down here on my whiteboard. I erased it yesterday, but he was excited to see him. The guy, what was his name? Oli Lee?
Olu.
Olu Mel. Yeah, but I know you're excited Duffy's back. That's how they added Stitch, Duffy. There was three new characters.
It was Stitch, Duffy, and Jiminy Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket, that's one. I was like, that's a wild one. That was a shot out of the where to get that one. But yeah, so hey, more characters. That's awesome. But yeah, Scott, you're probably excited for that.
I'm thrilled about it. Like I showed the photo to Elizabeth, and we're trying to figure out how we could buy one of those tickets for another night, because the Gardeners absolutely love Duffy. It is the cutest story. I miss Duffy so much because remember when he used to meet Ella, like when you're ending World Showcase, like now Daisy meets there. I had photos of Duffy like in his like jack-o'-lantern costume and like beach wear. Like they would like always change his costume out based on the time of year, and it was the cutest thing. And like that was like something we always look forward to when we went to Epcot. I was like, oh, what's Duffy going to be wearing today? And like that character meet and greet had like the whole story of Duffy as you like got closer to meeting him. It was just the cutest thing. We have so many Duffys and like the Duffy family with Shelly Mae and everyone else like in this house, and to see him in a Santa costume last night, just my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Like that should have been there day one, and they should have been announcing that, because this whole party, I'm surprised they're not all sold out after seeing that yesterday. I mean, I know not everyone is into Duffy, and you kind of had to like been going for a while, right, to understand Duffy. If you're new to traveling to Walt Disney, you're probably like, who is this teddy bear? You know? But for us longtime fans, it was really great to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We are big Duffy supporters at my house. We have all of Duffy's friends.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So on my high school yearbook page, actually, there are either one or two pictures of me with Duffy in Epcot on there.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's I think Disney knew they're really going after a subset of hardcore Disney fans when they bring out Duffy. When you think about it, because I was thinking about when I saw those three characters, right? Okay, what are they trying to do? Obviously, you could bring out more characters. That's gonna, because the character lines were super long. So you bring out three, you spread people out, right? So that's the this, here, I know you're doing some work with touring plans, right? This is totally the model, like touring plans, trying to spread out the crowds, bring the times down. But here's the thing. 3 different audiences. I think Duffy's got a kind of like more like your and Scott's, like the younger kind of generation, more like the Emily, your generation. But I think Scott's kind of tagged onto that because of Emily. Like, right. I think that's like the Duffy. This is how my brain works. Jiminy Cricket, older generation. Like people are going to see that and say, oh, that's nostalgia for probably like my age. Because like I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you got Stitch, and they always say Stitch. I don't get the Stitch thing, but I mean, like I always hear Jim Hill and Len say this, that Stitch was like the #1 merchandise seller of all time, that he's like this huge, huge, huge thing. I don't get it. I mean, the movie was okay when it came out way back when. I was actually at Walt Disney World when it came out, and I saw it at the AMC at Disney, downtown Disney at the time. I was working at Space Camp.
I've actually never seen the entire movie.
I mean, I've seen it a few times, but it's okay. But I mean, I've heard like that's one of their like, biggest sellers of all time is Stitch. And I don't get that it's that huge, but I mean, they say they bring them out when they need the big guns. So I think there was 3 reasons they brought that out for 3 separate audiences, those specific characters. It wasn't random. I don't know. I was just trying to think why they brought those three out. It'd be fun.
But yeah, I mean, like again, like I kind of thought that with Phineas and Ferb, they were trying to already sort of get at like my generation.
Oh, 100%. But also here's the thing.
Mhm.
I like Phineas and Ferb because Paige, right? Paige is 27. Like Paige had it on all the time on Disney Channel because it was before streaming. This was when Disney Channel on cable was the thing,
Oh, yeah.
and it was on all the time. And so like
Mhm.
I had it on by proxy, and I loved it because there was a lot of humor that went to the parents in that animated series. Like I loved it. Like Where's Perry? I love that stuff. And so I'd love to meet with Phineas and Ferb.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I met them once. I think it might have been the Christmas time, Phineas and Ferb, because used to my family, we'd get like the 8 of us, and we would go every year for like a week, and then we would switch it up between Halloween and Christmas time. And I remember at Christmas time, they had Phineas and Ferb out at something. I think it was.
They used to be in the streets of America too at the studios. They had like a little spot there because I remember that's where we met them a few times.
They were over
Yeah,
by. I met
that's
them
what it
over
was.
by. They were by Lightning McQueen. Like there was a Lightning McQueen car over there, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yes, there was. Yeah. Yeah, but whenever they would light up the Osborne lights, they had a few characters there too.
Yep, you're right. I bet you met him during reunion. I bet you were down there with your dad for reunion. I bet if I had to guess, try to connect the dots here. I bet you that's when it was.
Maybe. I was pretty little whenever I met them. I remember, and that was the last time I remember hearing it announced that they were out at something, except for like after hours parties.
Yeah. I bet you that I would almost put money that you were down there for a reunion event. I would bet.
That was the first one of those that I went to was Epcot 35.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, if you were there for Osborne Lights, is probably what it was. knowing your dad.
They got to get a Doofenshmirtz out there too. Like that would just be epic.
Yeah, you're right. If they brought out a Doofenshmirtz, oh my gosh, that'd be akin. I bet you that'd be akin to like the lines for Jack. Like Jack and Sally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this year, whenever they were doing the testing for the Halloween characters in Epcot, I was actually in Epcot that day, and earlier on in the day, I thought, it's around this time of year when they do the Halloween character testing back at World Showplace, and I didn't think too much of it after that. The next day, I get a text from my dad saying that Jack and Sally were in Epcot testing at World Showplace, and I didn't even think to actually go over there and check. So I could have met Jack and Sally with very little line, and I completely missed it.
Oh man, yeah, because that's you can count on two hours just to get in line for them anytime. So I'm glad
I've never met them before. I would love to someday.
Yeah, see that's one of those things. There's a few. I'm glad I'm not into that because I don't have to suffer through the long waits. It's to me that movie.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm just never in the parks whenever they're meeting, because the last time I did a Halloween party was 2019, and before then it was probably 3 or 4 years. And I did dress up as Sally for that party, but I did not meet them then.
Yeah, too much other stuff to do. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, thanks for the feedback, and make sure you tell your dad Happy Thanksgiving. And hey, my Mizzou Tigers take on the Arkansas Razorbacks, so hopefully we can get a win down there and finish our season strong.
We need a win.
You guys do. I know, but so do we. So All right, we'll see you,
We want
Ella.
to-
Ella, we had to plan with your dad a Duffy like party or something, you know, we'll just we'll
we
host this
totally
party off site, you know, invite all the Duffy fans. We'll just have this awesome get together.
That would
I'll
be
message him
amazing.
about it.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Ella, the chat says thanks for the great call and bringing up so many fun memories. So we appreciate you. So tell your dad happy Thanksgiving and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving
All right,
to y'all.
bye-bye.
Have a great one.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, she brings up a great point though with these characters because it's just one of those things that Disney is listening. They're trying to make the party better, and I think it's bottom line.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like they just listened to the feedback, right? They saw that there was some issues potentially with the party, trying to fix them like on the next one. Like I like that turnaround, and they brought back some favorite characters, and we just heard it from Troy. I mean, a lot of generally positive feedback from last night's party, so that's awesome to hear.
That is. And we got back to Paul called in with a few of these unwritten rules, and even with what Troy said with his unwritten rule, that he didn't really state it as an unwritten rule, but kind of transitive. He said, he had a good time at the party. And I think one of the, not a unwritten rule for being at Walt Disney World, but for social media, right? I think so many people get home and like poo-poo on everybody's parade. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't do the party right because you didn't do the party like I do the party. What I hear a lot of times, and this is not trying to be negative on anybody, but I've seen on social media, and this just kind of, because I see that maybe it doesn't hurt the person that's getting the feedback, but I think it could hurt the person that's getting the feedback. They're like, well, you spent, 3 hours of a 4-hour party meeting characters. And, by stating that, it almost sounds like you're saying, well, you did that wrong. But maybe that's what they like to do. And maybe they came home with these great pictures that they're going to show their friends or their, kids or their grandparents or whoever, and they're going to use those for their profile pictures. They're a teacher. They're going to use them for, their PowerPoint presentations for the next 10 years. My picture with me and Stitch in his Santa hat. If that's what makes that person happy and they didn't go on one ride and they're not a drinker, so they didn't go to the Tip Top bar and they don't care about Jack and Sally, so they didn't go to that show, let them be. Like, they're joyous, they're happy. Don't pee on their parade. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think a lot depends on your ticket media too. Like if I'm an annual pass holder and I go all the time, I'm not going to care about going on all the attractions. Like I'm going to do all these like specialty things because I'm fortunate enough where I'm a local and I can do all those things another time. Where some people might be like, see it as an opportunity to do a lot of attractions because they're going to be lower wait times because they have all these other special events. So instead of buying a 6-day ticket, let's buy a 4-day ticket and buy one of these hard ticket events and just take advantage of the short lines one night. Like, like everyone is going to be different on how they do it. And none of them are wrong, basically.
Did you see on Instagram? I just saw this. I mean, probably an hour before the show, I was having my Taco Bell and flipping through Instagram. Dude, I just lost her name. The runner,
Donna. Yeah, Donna.
She
Yeah,
was
I
doing
saw
like
it.
the dance thing.
That was what Beth called about last week.
You're reading my mind. Was that from last week?
Yeah, Beth called and said like that was like one of the photo ops that she
that was
recommended
the
that people go do.
Yeah, because
kind
they're
of
like doing like some kind of dance. Where, like the 4 of them were coming out from a line like opposite each other. I thought that was the craziest looking thing. I was cracking up. Yeah. Oh man, that was a good time though. Yeah, but so you would go to this party though now, you would say?
I mean, I would have gone to it anyway in the first place just because of who I am with Disney, right? Like I'm just always curious about new things, new experiences. But I think I like that there's options because there's still like the Mickey's Very Merry, like that's not going anywhere, right? So they added us like 10 dates for the new option at a new park. And I think I saw someone in the chat say it too, right? That it's their first year doing it. They're going to learn how to do things like Mickey's Very Merry and Mickey's Not So Scary was never perfect. Like the first few nights they ever did that, right? This is a new experience, new theme at a park that they haven't done this with very much. And I think it's working out pretty well. And I think it's going to projectly get better as they keep doing more of these events.
And I like to see that it's getting better like quickly. It's not like, okay, well, we're not having great reception this year, we'll turn it around in 2024. Like it has gotten better in a week, in one from party 1 to party 2, so that's good. And they're reaching out, they're surveying immediately. but they're not just taking the surveys and like, okay, we'll huddle in January with our data and see, you know, because again, I worked in education and I see the person in the chat and she's been a pain in the butt the whole thing, and I will ban her. I just got to figure, I can't do it in this program, but I'll get it on the YouTube channel. So yeah, she's shown her colors and she's an idiot. So, but back to this where we're all positive and we're all adults except for her. You know, it's one of those things that it seems that Disney has always moved like glacially, and this time they're finally trying to get things right. I mean, is that how you say it? It's because I don't know if it's the outside pressures of what Universal's doing with Epic Universe down the street, whatever it is. I like it. You know, I mean, they've changed the leadership, you know, in the last year, because that was a really hardship there for a while, but yeah. So
yeah, no, I like what they're doing with that. I would love to see them do this at other places too. Like, I mean, the problem is you can't just have hard ticket events at all the parks, because then you're going to get some angry guests, right? Because then like you're closing the parks early for day guests. But could you imagine like Epcot doing something like this too? Like Epcot just kind of has that like fun party feeling all the time. But could you imagine if they did like some hard ticket event like through World Showcase during the holidays? I mean, they already do some cool things throughout like normal days, but I would just love to see them explore and try new things too.
Ooh, hang on. I think I figured out how to ban somebody. Yes, I did. Yes. Score one for the good guy.
Victory. A BOGP victory. It just took us an hour.
And I apologize for everybody in the chat that had to see that, but I just had to figure out how to do that. And now that I have, I feel like tonight has been a success. And here's the deal. Okay, just look, because we're at the end of the show and it's Thanksgiving week. I got to say this. I'm thankful for everybody that tunes in to our shows on Sunday nights, because here's how I see it. Could we fly through our calls? Yes, we could fly through our calls and do a call every 5 minutes, is this unfortunate soul, I'm going to call her, wanted us to do. But here's the thing. If you're going to take the time out of a Sunday night to call us, I want to have a conversation with you, and I want to respect your time. If you want to call us, I want you and me and Scott to be able to have a conversation and talk and hear and have a real conversation. I don't think a conversation happens all the time in 5 minutes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I want to be respectful of your call and have the conversation. So sometimes we have 2 calls in an hour. Sometimes we might have 7 or 8. But you know, it's all upon the situation. Scott, I hope you agree with that. And
no, I agree. If someone wants to take the time, like to just call in and like share like a mini trip report, or they had an idea, or they thought of something, they saw something on social media, whatever it is, like I love hearing that. And like this is for them, right? This platform is for our listeners, you know, that we have, I think we personally have really good relationships with too, right? We like, I don't know about you, Mike, but I get DMs all the time. I try to respond to everyone. You know, we have good conversation outside of the show too. And I love it when we can bring it on this platform for everyone to hear it instead of a private message. And I just love that people want to take the time and share their thoughts with our audience. And I think that's awesome.
All right. We appreciate you guys. So we are going to call it a wrap. We had lots of fun calls tonight. We got to talk about a lot of stuff, and we're going to have shows this week. So join us for that as you get ready to make that Thanksgiving dinner. Oh man, I can't wait. This is the greatest. Football all week. Thanksgiving dinner. Man, I think Pam goes to the grocery store on Tuesday to get the burger.
Thursday. Oh boy, it's going to be tough.
We'll see. You know the story though, right? Is that if you get a frozen bird, it's like already too late. Because
for sure.
The news stories, like, but I think we get a fresh one. Well, we have to. We get a fresh one. So,
fresh one's the way to go too.
Is it? Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's what we do. And so it's almost time. I'm excited, man. I love that. Thanksgiving is one of the greatest holidays, not only because my birthday is right after. That's kind of pretty cool, but
you sound like Elizabeth with that. Yeah.
Because my birthday is Monday. But here's the thing, like, it's great because you don't have to have the pressure of presents, right? You get the good food, you get relaxing, you'd spend time with friends and family, but you don't have to worry about the presents. Now, right after Thanksgiving, of course, then the pressure's on, because then you got to worry about all that stuff, but not for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so I just don't ever worry about presents. We got into that point where that's just not a thing, really, in our family.
You do not even know of Pam's family. Oh my gosh, you should see Christmas Eve at her parents' house. Oh, man, it looks like the North Pole.
Yeah,
it's not as bad.
That's how it was when my mom was here, and then like my brother and dad and I talked, and we're like, we gotta cut this out, you know.
When the kids were smaller, seriously, you could not hardly get in the front door. Like it was. Yeah. first time I went over there before, like we were just dating, I was like, are you kidding? I mean, we had a lot of presents when I was like a little kid with all the cousins and stuff. First time I went over there, I was like, you are joking. Like, I have never seen so many presents. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, there's no way we could even open these all one night. Like, because her mom's just a very nice person. Like, I mean, they're not all like big presents. She just likes giving like stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like small little thoughtful gifts, you know what I'm saying? But oh my gosh, it was just, it was a scene out of a movie. It's just like, it's wild.
That's funny.
Anyway, all right, we're out of here. Don't forget the show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. Very important this week. We got Black Friday. The link works great on Black Friday. It's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons. You guys are the best. Patreon.com/brguestpodcast. You get that bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come on over and join us. Again, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give Scott a follow this week. It's going to be a lot of fun as he eats that turkey and talks Lions football. At Epscott, EPSCOT on Instagram and Twitter/X and Threads. I'm in the same places at Be Our Guest Mike. And again, no live show next Sunday night because of the basketball game for the UIC Flames. We'll be back in 2 weeks taking your calls. So join us then. All right. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody here in the States. Hope you enjoy that big day on Thursday. Of course, we'll have shows on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So check us out on the feed and subscribe to the show. Please always subscribe. That helps us keep our ratings up. And if you don't mind, while you're on that tryptophan, 5-star review, Apple Podcasts. That's the best time to give us one when you're on that high from the turkey and the stuffing. Hit in there, all 5 stars, and give us some glorious words. All right, for Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Sunday night or a great Thursday. You guys stay safe, stay happy and healthy, and eat all the turkey. And we'll see you real soon. All right, we'll see you later.
What an episode.
Oh my God. The person in the chat.
I don't think I can go in and do anything. So I was just.
So there's like, you don't see those 3 little dots. I didn't notice those 3 little dots just now.
Hold on. Let me try something. There's like this login button. I always wonder what that.
You try. Oh, dude. Well, just apparently it makes them go away. Live show. What is today? Apparently it makes you disappear.
Okay, so it kicked me out, but so I'm logged in now, and then my dashboard looks different. So
do you see like on the chat? Do you see those 3 like little dots and the star next to everybody?
I see a star
next to the star.
Oh, now I see the 3 dots.
Okay, see if I
okay, yeah, okay, I see it. So I didn't have that when I wasn't logged in. Now that I'm logged in, I do see that. So maybe that's the key.
So yeah, log in from now on, and then if we see that person come back, we'll just ban user and delete their comments.
Yeah,
but I didn't even know you could do that. Like,
I did ban myself. Apparently, I just pieced out.
Where'd he go?
Yeah, that was funny. No, it's weird. Like you would think. So I must join as a guest or something. Like I don't know, but hopefully it'll just keep me logged in now, so I don't have to do that every.
Yeah, because I mean, I think I've got you. I don't even know. I think I have you. Like, is it like just?
Well, yeah. Now, like my view is completely different now.
So, you see, like under our box here, you see
like I can change how these things are.
He's got all the controls.
Oh, I'm gone again. Oh, there I am.
There he is.
Yeah. So I can play around with some of that stuff apparently. So
cool. No, that's good. All right. Well, go. So did you have dinner yet?
There's been a chili on the stove for like 3 hours. So I think it's about time.
Dude, chili's so good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put you in timeout.
That's funny.
All right, tell Elizabeth I said hello and Emily, and
will do.
I will send a text. I think Pam's back, but I'm not sure.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, I'll send the text.
All right, I'll talk to you. See you. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye.